All right. It is Buffy the Vampire Slayer customizable card game. I'm playing on the original board that came with Pergamy Prophecy. Um, we have a resource deck. We have a discard pile, the Crypt, challenge deck, our Destiny card. This shows us how much Destiny we have. We'll move that. The whole point of this is to get 10 Destiny or control the park for 6 turns. If no one else is opposing you in the park at the end of your turn, that's 1 turn, and so on. Buffy starts in the park on this first patrol. Spike starts in the football field. I don't have the card out. I'm just placing him there, and that will show that. I've got his card, his deck sitting here. Again, this is the first patrol, and you use this to actually play the game just to learn a little bit of the basics of the card. Originally, you would actually use this, put Buffy's card here, Spike's at the football field, the Sunnydale hallway here, and then the 2 challenges. But we're gonna leave it on the actual board so you can see how it's played. There are 4 locations, and you have 7 challenges. In this game, we're only gonna have 1. So what we're gonna do is set this back down. Okay. Adjust the camera. So the first step is there's prologue, draw, refresh, movement, resource, conflict, and end step. The end phase, the end step. There's 7 phases in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer customizable card game. Let's get started. First patrol, it's heroes playing villains. Villains always go first. They decide if it's going to be night. They're going to decide that it's night. And in the prologue step, each player will place 1 challenge, and the Feast of St. Viges will go on the Sunnydale School hallway, and then it's Buffy's turn, and she will place the parent-teacher night on the same Sunnydale School hallways. Again, Buffy starts in the park. He's starting at the football. Now, normally the second step, that's the prologue. The second step is the draw phase. Spike will go first, and he will draw the 3 Demology 101 Spider. My spider sense is tingling. Spiders and Vampire Embrace. So here is Spike's hand. He's got a skill, another minion, and then some action cards, which do this part during this time of the game, or you can buff each individual skill at that during skill checks and stuff. We'll get to that in a second. Buffy's going to draw. Her 5 cards is Buffy Summers, level 2. She can ascend. Joyce Summers, the Fire Axe, Watcher Training, and then Computer Invasion. All right, so now that's the second step, which is the draw step. Going on to the refresh step. If characters had previously fought or try to do a challenge the last turn, you would rotate your character. None are rotated, so during this step, we're not fatigued, so we don't have to refresh. Now, during the movement phase, during night, Spike can move twice. During the day, vampires can only move once. So, I move 2 turns at night, but cannot move during the day. Why? Because I'm a vampire, stupid. First, I move from the football field to Sunnydale Funeral Home, which would be there. I'm going for the sleigh number 3. I move from Sunnydale Funeral Home to Sunnydale school hallway. So she's going to move to there. Excuse me. It's as the Slayer can only move once during the night phase, I moved from Sunnydale Park to Sunnydale School Hallway. So basically, he moved twice to get here. Okay. But Buffy was in the park and moved into the location. So I did that a little wrong, but I've made up for it. Buffy's basically saying that since I've already moved my one time during the night, this step, I'm ready to slay. So she passes. Now he will pass, and then that's turn. We go into the resource step. The resource step is in the cards in your hand. During the resource step, it's time to let loose some lackeys. I unleashed the 3 from my hand and placed them on the football field, which again we don't have, so I'm going to place it here. And it is now Buffy's turn. Buffy started the game so that you could learn how to do this with 3 ascendance points. Destiny points, excuse me. So she's going to ascend. You take your second card, place it over your 1, and it buffs up 3, 3, 0, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. And the humans, whenever Buffy is fighting on an opponent's main character, she gains +1 butt kick. Human, Buffy gains +1 butt kicking against all vampires now. Okay, she's still at that challenge location. It goes to Spike, and Spike, I have the 3 learn the skill demonology. So demonology is going to go on the 3, and it goes under them, all right, and then it's placed on the board. And they're fatigued because skills make you fatigue unless something breaks that rule, which there are things that break it. During this game, it's not broken, so they're fatigued now, so they're turned sideways. It is Buffy's turn, and Buffy will now play. Mom is going to parent-teacher night, so Buffy is going to play Joyce Summers at parent-teacher night challenge, which is at the location of the school. Okay? It is now. It says, I play attack and place it into my discard pile. Buffy discards a card. So, spiders, that's an attack. So, during the resource step, which we're at, they played this. Choose an opponent to discard 1 card from their hand. So that goes into the discard pile, not the crypt. The card will tell you if it goes to the crypt after use. So then Buffy is told to discard one of the cards in her hand. I'm going to discard what it tells us in the first patrol. It tells us to discard this to the discard pile. Okay. It is now Buffy's turn to act in the resource step. And let's see. We're going to give Mom the fire axe. Items do not fatigue a character. She just picked it up at the school, and therefore it's there. It goes to Spike. He has no more skills or minions to put out, so he passes. I'm going to play Watcher's Training on Buffy. Which fatigues Buffy, because it's a skill. Remember, it's a skill. Okay. Spike has no more people, so he passes again. I have nothing else to play. I pass. And now we enter the conflict step. In the conflict step, you can do two things. One of two things. You can either attack an opponent's main character or minions or whatever, or you can try to do a challenge. It's Spike's turn. Spike says during the conflict stage, finally time for Buffy bashing. I attack. Buffy reads aloud. So in Buffy's attack says, wait, Mom steps in and takes any steps in place in the fight. She is now now stunt doubling. If you're fatigued, your skills go down, okay? But if someone is at the same location as you when you're attacked, you can stunt double. And so that allows Joyce to step in for Buffy, since Buffy is fatigued. Okay? Stunt doubling fatigues the character, so one turn, Mom, so now you turn her, because she's now fatigued, but she's able to stunt double, okay? And all of her talents, poor Mom, her butt kicking is now 0. So she has 0, this gave her 1, so now she is at 0, okay? All right. Now the fight begins. Spike will draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those cards are Demon Theory, I Quit, Feast of Virgins, Offer of Ugly Death, and Two Gun Woo. Okay. Buffy's going to draw her last cards. The Old Mansion Body Switch, Priority Check, Number 1 Alternate, Bow Before the Idol Box, and Overhand Toss. That's her cards for the turn. You can see that most of these are butt kicking. You can also use this in place of butt kicking. Any action card can be used as 1 butt kicking or 1 smarts or what have you. I'll do about that in a different video. But for right now, we're just going to concentrate on these top because of what we're learning today. All right, so Spike has now drawn. It says Mom's kick butt. Buffy's mom is kick butt is now 0, and mine is at a 3. This should be easy. The player with the highest butt kicking at the end of the fight wins. Okay? Since Spike is winning, he will pass. Now it is Joyce's turn. It's Buffy's turn, but Joyce is fighting. And it says, since Mom and Spike are fighting, Mom takes over Buffy's hands and draws the 5 cards. Okay? Now normally you always draw 5 cards in a fight. Okay? It says that she is going to play Priority Check for 2 butt kick. Now remember, Spike is 3, so she's going to play 2 butt kick. It is now Spike's turn. He's still ahead. He passes. To match Spike's butt kicking, Mom sets aside the old Madison body switch and places it on top of the priority check. Now see, now we have 2 and 2, which is 4. It's Spike's turn. I've started a talent stack to track my butt kicking. I put the stack anywhere I want. I set aside Vampire Embrace from my hand to start the stack and raise my butt kicking to 4. So he's going to take Vampire Embrace. He's got a 4 and I've got a 4. Comes back to Buffy. She's going to set down Bow before their idiot idol. for another 2, making her 6. It now goes back. Mommy's serious. I play Feast on Virgins to hit a butt kick of 7. In a fight or battle, discard a card from hand. Your opponent now chooses 2 cards and discards them. Or this right here. Oh, sorry. The last turn should have been I quit, which will put it up to 7. So Buffy has 6 to 7 now. Buffy will play alternate, number 1 alternate. So she's up to 8. Spike is going to play the Feast on Virgins. Yeah. And then Buffy passes because she's ahead, and the Spike will now play the last card he's going to play, and it is I play Offer of the Ugly Death to tie at 8. So now they're tied at 8. Buffy has 1 card left in her hand for overhanded toss, which is 1. She'll play that for 9. This doesn't look good. So Spike has nothing else, so he passes. It comes back to Joyce. Joyce Summer passes because she's winning. Now Mom wins the fight. My mom picked up a fire axe and beat the heck out of Spike. I gained 1 destiny point and moved my destiny card to 10. So it was actually at 9 to get to that 10. And that was it. In order to ascend a character, you have to have at least 3. So starting this game was at 9. And so since she had 3, she could place this card over top of this card. There's some other things that I want you to look at. We're going to take these cards back so that we can kind of look at them. All right. During the fight battle, gain 1 extra destiny point for winning this fight. Only 1 demon theory can be played per fight. Spike could have played this card down, and if he would have won, he would have gotten 1 extra for kicking Joyce's butt. Okay? Now, since Spike is the main character, he is discarded, but he's going to come back at the beginning of the next turn. Okay? This is about a 20-minute video. There was a couple mess-ups. I'm not going to go back and do it. There is nothing out there on YouTube or anywhere that shows you how to kind of play. When I say that you can play, let's see right here. See, this says butt kick, and this is well, let's go real quick. The talents are butt kicking for fighting, smarts for brain application, weirdness for supernatural powers, and charm for sucking up when it really counts. So we have Buffy, the butt kick, the smarts, the weirdness, and that is the charm. So on this challenge, you would need at least 4 butt kick and at least 7 smarts. So if I had Buffy here and Joyce, they have charm of 3, okay, and butt kicking of 3, 4. If I have this now attached and I'm freshed, it's 2 plus 2. I mean 3 plus 2. That's 5. That's 6 total. So she's beating this. She only has 3. So on her turn, she can play cards right here for 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You just have to meet it. So once she meets it, she accomplishes it. So Buffy has to be used to complete this, and then she gets 3 destiny points. If it would have been our turn, we wouldn't even have fought Spike. We would have just done this and tried to win that way. So that's how the game's played. And again, let's say you need weirdness, but it's not on the card. Oh, excuse me, that is weirdness. Let's say you need the charm, but it's not on the card. You can turn any card sideways in your talent stack. Okay? And that is 1 point. Any action card can count as 1 point to the book, the weirdness, or the charm, or butt kicking. Okay? That's how the game's played. I'm sure I'm going to get some questions about this, because this is not up. I also offer trades. I've got lots of cards. I can point you in the right direction to get some stuff to start with, too. I have a bunch of stuff I've got sealed stuff that I can sell. That's it. Me and my wife are going to actually play a game in a couple days, maybe tonight, and then post that video. I'm going to try to get a better camera angle. This is off the iPad with me doing it. There's going to be questions. I have answers. And we can go over some of the rare cards and some of the cool cards. Some of the things that they did for Buffy the Vampire Slayer when it first came out in 2001, I believe. Squirt did a fantastic job. Yeah, so there's 3 sets that came out. We're going to go over that real quick. It was the Pergamy Prophecy, Angel Curses, and then Class of 99. And then they were going to do Slayer on Campus, but Score lost the rights or something happened, and they were not able to produce the next set. So there was 1 card made for that. It was a promo. It was at a convention or something. But that's it. Here's what the new boards look like. So if I remove this, all this to show you. Sorry, my rooster is going crazy outside. This is the original board. I've got them taped together just to make it easier to move around. That's what this is. The board's on the back of this playthrough. Let's see. We'll do that in a second. This is from, I think this is from the Wish boxes. And this is the setup that me and my wife will use when we go to play this later on. All right. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. If you have questions, please ask.